What is the man in the mirror's real name?
The man in the mirror, in this mirror, his name is Mishaal. But I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. This man sometimes goes by two names, depending on if you're talking to him or you're talking to the artist. But if you're talking to the artist, his name is Son of Midas.
What's your favorite thing about the man in the mirror?
My favorite thing about the man in the mirror? I don't know. There's a lot of things about him, but I definitely think his creativity. I think it's gotten him this far in this life and made him who he is. But also his willingness to learn and never stop at that. He's not afraid of learning new things and pushing the boundaries within his own work, within his clients' work, but yeah, just to never stop learning and never stop growing.
What's your least favorite thing about the man in the mirror?
Damn, that's a tough one. My least favorite thing about the man in the mirror, like, I don't think he knows how to say no. He takes on too much and then burns out and becomes lazy and then gets uninspired and goes through that cycle of like burnout so frequently. And I think one thing about that and that he needs to learn is balance. I think it will solve a lot of things in his life and stop a lot of problems from occurring. And yeah, I just hope he learns that lesson sometime soon.
What's the first thing the man in the mirror does when they wake up?
The man in the mirror has some crazy morning rituals, I won't lie. Yo, this man, he's very intentional about his morning. It's a process as well. For him, it starts with yoga in the morning, lighting some incense, just breathing, and then it goes to journaling, reading, and a beautiful cup of brewed tea in like one of his many teapots. And yeah, that's what his morning is.
Who is the man in the mirror's favorite person in the world and why?
The man in the mirror's favorite person in the world? Damn. These questions ain't easy for this man in the mirror. Wow, I think that's a very widespread answer. I don't think there's one person, and I think the answer also changes with time for him. But right now, I think it's his team. His team's the one that's there for him, that supports him, that guides him, that catches him when he does wrong. And yeah, I don't think he'd be where he is today without his team.
When was the man in the mirror in his hometown of Mafikeng last, and what were you up to?
The man in the mirror was in his hometown, I think in October, late October, early November. I went down for Diwali, which is an Indian celebration, and just to see my mom and my parents and my grandparents and just spend some time at home.
Okay. The man in the mirror has just been offered a huge movie deal about his life journey. What's the name of the movie, and who would you choose to play the man in the mirror?
Damn, a movie deal. I've actually thought about this a little bit, but I haven't even thought about it as a movie. It's the documentary. It's a day in the life. They need to be seeing what we're doing every day. I don't think there's anyone that can play the man in the mirror but himself. Like, I think the movie's about him and the people around him. Like, they need to follow that. They need to see the actual man, because I guess who else better to play the man than the man?
And what would you call this documentary?
I think the documentary would be titled either Son of Midas or Children of Midas. I think that's who I am, that's who we are as a team, so it's got to be that. I don't think it can be anything other than that.
The man in the mirror is also known as the Son of Midas. Tell us a bit about what that means.
Son of Midas, that's the man in the mirror's alter ego. It's the name he took on for, I guess, his artistic self, and also just to kind of separate those entities, even though they are one, even though he looks at himself and the Son of Midas in the mirror every day. He kind of separates these personas within his life, where he can be his, I guess, goofy, silly self in certain scenarios and be the artist in others. Son of Midas, it represents a lot to him. It's his story, it's what he thrives to be in the art world and to just grow and help others as an artist. I think that's the biggest thing about the Son of Midas is his journey to help other creators grow and essentially find this version of gold for themselves.
Okay. The Man in the Mirror recently worked on a project with Adidas and the Children of Midas. Tell us a bit about that collective. Who are the Children of Midas?
The Children of Midas, they're my team, they're my family, they mean the world to me, and I don't think I would be where I am like today without them. We've been through a lot together this year, and the crazy thing about that is that we only formed this year, but I feel like I've known all of them my entire life, and I can't wait to know them for the rest of my life. We do everything together, we literally live together now. We have a space together. The Man in the Mirror is grateful for them every single day.
If the Man in the Mirror was a Marvel or DC Comics villain, what villain would they be and what hero would they go up against?
Damn, a villain. I don't know if the Man in the Mirror sees himself as a villain. But I guess just because of his persona, that person got to be gold like out. And the first person you can think of is Adam Warlock. And he's fully in gold, and I think probably the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. If the Man in the Mirror wasn't a photographer for a living, what would he be doing?
The Man in the Mirror is quite a multifaceted man. And a couple years back, he finished off his honors in engineering. So if he didn't take that leap and give that life, this creative life, a chance, he would have been an electrical engineer.
Okay. What do people misunderstand about the Man in the Mirror?
I think people tend to misunderstand the Man in the Mirror sometimes because of his good heart and his intention behind that, and tend to take advantage of that. You know, sometimes opening up space and allowing and teaching and helping others grow can, as much as it is a good thing, people can take advantage of that, and they misunderstand sometimes my intention with that and their own gain out of that. You know, he tries to help a lot of people, but people misunderstand that and take advantage of him for that. And I think that comes from their own selfish needs sometimes, and just how this industry works. People aren't used to getting help from others, I guess, in this industry. It's very cutthroat, and it sometimes comes across the wrong way when you do try and help someone in this space and they're not trusting of you and your good intentions. And yeah.
Okay. If the Man in the Mirror was given the powers of any Greek god for a day, whose powers would they pick and why?
I think that's an easy one for the Man in the Mirror. From the name Son of Midas, he would definitely take the powers of King Midas. You know, he's proclaimed father, I guess, in this whole idea of who he is as an artist. And yeah, it would definitely be King Midas and Midas's touch.
If the Man in the Mirror was given the chance to shoot the album cover of their favorite artist right now, who is this artist and what colors are on the cover?
Yeah. Favorite artist and
Right now.
Right now, and the man would want to shoot, I think that'd definitely be Tems. The Man in the Mirror has been dreaming about that cover for a while now. And yeah,
What is the man in the mirror's proudest moment?
the man in the mirror's proudest moment, I think building the new space that he's in with his team and the people that he loves. You know, I think it's hard within this space of Joburg and this creative space here to find people that you can trust and to be able to go into business with them, to grow a space, to put time and effort and money into that. And this year, my proudest moment is just doing that with people that I love.
What is the man in the mirror's deepest regret?
The man in the mirror's deepest regret. I think he's learned and has come to terms with a lot of regret, and through his processes and his teachings, regret isn't something that he tends to dwell on. And yeah, I think he's moved past a lot of his regrets. And right now he's in a good space of learning and growing. And in this industry, it's hard to have regrets, and regrets will bring you down. So he just knows to keep moving forward and take every opportunity and give every situation his best shot.
Okay. The man in the mirror has just won an award. What award did he win, and who did he thank in his acceptance speech?
Damn, the man in the mirror won an award. I think it's about time. Not jokes. The man in the mirror is a hard worker, but he's not one that cares too much about the fame. I'll tell you that. But the award, I think, for being a good creative director, for building a brand, for building and telling stories, for helping others. There's so many things, but yeah, I think that sums it up. And the people he thank is the people around him, because as you mentioned earlier, like, you wouldn't be anywhere without them.
What's a habit the man in the mirror needs to change or quit?
A habit that the man in the mirror needs to change or quit? Damn. He needs to not be lazy sometimes. You know, he as he mentioned earlier, like, he gets burnt out. Like, he needs to get his shit together, to learn to say no, to just balance it out sometimes. And I think that will solve a lot of his problems.
When everything is said and done, how do you think the man in the mirror will be remembered?
I think the man in the mirror will be remembered for what he did for others, and how he helped them grow, for how he told stories for those who didn't have voices, for the help, for the growth, for the journey, for talking about mental health in a space where it can be ignored so much, and for showing people that they are golden.
Okay, thank you.